Now here we have something which is very unusual. This is the Aprilia Moto 6.5, designed by the French industrial designer Philippe Starck. Now Philippe Starck was famous for lots of industrial design, commonly known and remembered as the guy who designed a very attractive juicer that looks a bit like the Russian satellite Sputnik upside down. If you Google that, you'll understand what I mean. A very nice thing and very popular when it came out. Now, Philippe Starck's brief for the Aprilia Moto was to design a bike that was going to appeal to people who weren't just die-hard bikers. So he was given quite a free rein. Lots of unusual design features like this curved exhaust that mirrored the curved frame, almost like an egg. And of course the finishes were unique to the Aprilia Moto. Now this nice example has just come in from Japan and is supplied, registered on an age-related plate with new tyres and a full service. We've fitted a new battery and we've cleaned the carb, so she starts on the button. Now mileage is only 13,039 kilometres, which is just over 8,000 miles. A few tiny marks and bits and pieces you can see from the age, some slight pitting on the rims, but the spokes are all good, being stainless steel as standard. The exhaust is in lovely order, the engine is very clean, the frame's clean. The problem with these satin finishes, they're very difficult to clean up without polishing them to a gloss. But overall, a very nice example. Let's hear her run. As you can hear, she sounds great. I'll just pull back a bit for the noise. You know, Aprilia were a bit ahead of the curve on this bike. When it was originally launched, it wasn't a great seller. I think people struggled to understand what it was all about. And because of that, it just didn't have a big enough capacity, wasn't comfortable enough for touring, and people didn't understand that sort of cafe culture. Now, of course, now we do. So you could actually argue that this bike was 15, 20 years too early. Other examples of manufacturers dealing with design and got a little bit ahead of the curve were Honda in the 80s, mid-80s. They designed a fantastic bike called the GB500 TT. Now that was starred like an old British single seat based on the Honda XBR 500, a fantastic bike, but again a little bit ahead of its curve. If that bike was launched 20 years later, it would have been a top seller when the calf racer craze came along, similar to the Ducati Sport Classic MH900E and the Pulse Smart. They were a bit ahead of the curve, now of course highly prized. Now the price of Philippe Starck designed Aprilia Motos has gone up over the years. At one time they were a little bit unloved, now they're seen as very collectible and very interesting machines. And as I said, this one will be supplied all ready to go on an age-related plate and is a nice example. So we look forward to hearing from you. If you want to see more pictures and more details, just go to the website www.classicandrare.co.uk. There you'll find lots of pictures of the bike, and if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. But a very cool bike in the best colour, I think, orange and silver. There was a black and silver, which I don't think really stands out as well. I think the orange and silver is the colour to go for. A nice thing to buy that will hold its money. Any queries, just let me know.